Okay, so welcome everybody, and thank you so much for joining this week's strategy webinar. My name is Reio. I'm one of the co-founders of Instantly, and so the way I usually structure these webinars is first I give like a short presentation of some of the things I think are super useful to know when you're using Instantly, when you're running cold email campaigns, and then in the second part of the webinar, we would do like a Q&A session. So anytime you have any kind of question you want me to cover, please let me know in the Zoom chat, in the Q&A section, or in the chat itself. And so it doesn't even have to be a question. If you just want to, me to talk about like a topic, just let me know. And I'll be taking a look every once in a while to see what you guys are asking. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I always like to talk about in the strategy sessions is the Instantly Accelerator. So if you go to your Instant account, in the bottom left corner, this space shuttle icon is what we call the Instant Accelerator. And what this basically is a cold email course that takes you all the way from the very beginning to the very end and covers every step in between. So to show you how this works is kind of, it's divided into steps. Some of these are going to be YouTube videos, some of these are going to be Google Docs, some of these take you to like third-party sites, let's say our YouTube channel, our Facebook group, and so you can treat it as a course, like move step by step, mark these steps as completed, or you can just jump into a section that most interests you. Let's say you want to learn about copywriting, you check out the copywriting masterclass videos, and all that stuff, and you can always like refer back to it. It's always going to be available. And at the very end, we also have all the live coaching sessions. So the one we're on right now is the strategy session. We also have demo sessions and onboarding sessions. So these are more oriented towards like beginners. Demos are for people that don't even know what Instantly is. Onboarding is for super new Instant users. Anytime you have anything you want to learn or know about, it's probably somewhere here in the Instant Accelerator. So always makes sense to refer back to it. All right, and going on from there, I wanted to talk about some of the newer features we added to Instantly just this week, and basically how you can use these for your advantage. So the first two things are delay start of subsequence and detection of out-of-office statuses automatically. So these kind of work hand in hand in a way, and I'm going to talk about both of these. So let's say if you're in a campaign and you have an active campaign for which you have subsequences, either available or set up, right? So I'm going to just create one right now, call it new 123, just let's say out of office, which is the example I want to make here as well. So now this is a subsequence for one of the campaigns, and anytime someone from this campaign is assigned the lead status out of office, they will be put into this campaign. So now this feature, wait for X days before sending step one, you can kind of delay the start of the subsequence. So let's say someone is out of office. So let's say you just put this as 7 days. So usually people are going to be like back in a week. Most people aren't away for like super long, but yeah, you can just adjust these this date as you want. And basically how it will then work is if someone is marked as out of office, it will wait for 7 days and then send out step one. So step one could be something like, so you were out of office, like reaching back again now, are you available to continue the discussion, or whatever you basically want to send. But you don't have to do it this way, right? Let's say this is 0 days. What you can do also is send out step one right away, which says like, hey, noticed you were out of office. I'll reach back out in 7 days or something like that. And then you put the 7 days here. And then in the step two, you talk about your offer again, and you're kind of hitting them up again after they've been back. So this is kind of the way you can use this. And now bringing me to the second point, which is we now detect out-of-office statuses automatically. So now how this will work is in the Unibox, if someone's going to say they're out of office, Instantly is going to detect it. It's going to mark it as out of office. And then the subsequence we just set up is going to fire out for those people. So now you kind of have like a fully automated process of reaching back out to out-of-office people, And there's like insane value there, because there's always, especially if you're sending out like bigger volume, there's always gonna be people, often even a lot of them, especially during like summertime when people are like out of the office more. You can always reach back out to them like automatically, and you can even create extra steps. So let's say even in these options, you're gonna have like the sequence will stop once someone replies, right? So you can create like a bunch of steps, and let's say even the last one is like 14 days later or whatever, and you can hit them up again. If they reply, it's gonna stop. If they don't reply, it's gonna keep going. So this way, again, you're gonna have like an automated machine that's reaching out to people who are out of office. So a lot of people just like disregard them. If you're out of office, it's just leave the reply be. But this way, you're gonna recover a lot of interested people. You're gonna get a lot more meetings if you have this thing running. So super recommended to set this one up as well. And yeah, before I continue, for anyone who joined along the way, if you have any kind of questions, please let me know in the Zoom chat, in the Q&A section, or the chat itself. I think like these webinars are going to be the most useful if I talk about stuff that interests you the most, or like what you're having problems with. So yeah, please let me know if you have anything like that. Okay, moving on. So I wanted to talk about some of the lessons as well that we kind of learned giving out all these strategy webinars, seeing what people are doing, and based on basically all of this experience that we have. So the first lesson I wanted to talk about is the value in replying quickly. So this is concerning if you get a response to your campaigns, how long does it take for you to respond back to these people? So we always see that the cold emails that book the most, cold emailers that book the most meetings are the ones who respond to interested prospects the fastest. So sometimes it happens that someone responds, you respond back immediately. It kind of turns into a dialogue. You keep like replying back and forth instantaneously, and we see that these kinds of like discussions turn into meetings the most often, as opposed to, let's say, you wake up the next day, you respond, it's night for them, they're in a different time zone, then they respond the next day, kind of dragging it out. We see that often like lessens the chance of moving forward with it. So responding to interested prospects as fast as possible is actually super critical. And how you can achieve that. So first of all, check for responses as regularly as possible. So you don't have to be like in the Unibox 24/7, but basically what you can do is like assign like, let's say 10-minute slots in the morning, in afternoon, in the evening, where you just quickly check for responses. And if you can get back to them as quickly as possible, it's going to be really good. The other thing you can do is if you go to Instantly, you go to settings, you go to integrations. So you can set up, let's say if you're using Slack, you can set up Slack integration. If you're using some kind of different tool, you can do it through our API or through Zapier. And you can set up notifications when replies are coming in. So let's say anytime someone responds, you get a notification. This way also, you can respond to leads like super quickly. And yeah, so that's that lesson. Then the second lesson I wanted to cover on this webinar is your copy and your targeting. This includes your offer as well, is always going to be more important than just volume. So let's say if you send out like 1,000 emails, you're not getting really good opens, you're not getting any responses. It's probably not going to help if you like double the volume with everything, keeping everything the same. So you kind of want to make sure that your copy and targeting is super good. You want to kind of prove the concept that this is working before you want to scale up. So sending more emails that don't get opened or replied to is not going to help. And quite the contrary, actually, as well, it's going to hurt you. So if you send out a bunch of emails that no one opens, no one responds to, it's showing email service providers that you're sending out content or like emails that people don't care about, and that's going to hurt your sending reputation. And even worse, you know, if people report you as spam, if you have like really bad targeting, let's say you're offering some kind of a service for lawyers, but you're targeting like plumbers or something like that, there's a huge chance that people can report you as spam. It's not relevant. So you want to make sure that your targeting is super precise, so the people reading it feel like it's not just random spam, but it's actually like a interesting, targeted, thought out message. So yeah, as I said, start off with lower volumes, validate, then increase volumes by getting more sending accounts. So first send out the lower volume, make sure you're getting good responses, you're getting opens, everything's looking good, then you can scale it up. And at first you can run a bunch of tests to kind of find the perfect copy and targeting. And yeah, if you're going to scale volume, the other important thing is do it by getting more accounts rather than sending more emails per account, because we see that the recommended limits, like 30 cold emails, 20 warm-up emails daily, is the sweet spot to be at. You can technically send more, but the most successful users of ours are kind of staying in these limits. So make sure you're doing that. And if you want to send out more emails, just get more domains, more accounts, and scale up that way. All right, so moving forward, talking about some copywriting stuff. So recently I've been a big fan of short form copy. So getting straight to the point, not rambling on about all the features you provide right away. And on top of that, having like a softer call to action. So you're not asking for a call right away, but rather you're asking for interest to send some kind of materials over, or just ask for interest in general. Like, do you want to hear more? So to read this one out, hey, first name, out of the blue question, but I recorded a 30-second loom, how you could add 3 million ARR to company name, like we did for Instantly. Mind if I send it over? So again, the great part is it's short, straight to the point, soft call to action. It's not asking for too much. And yeah, it has everything in here. Also, it provides value right away. It's not just like, do you want to come on a call? But it's also offering some kind of value in a form of a 30-second loom. So now this loom could be like a generic loom that's just talking about your service, or you can even take the extra step and make the loom precisely fit this prospect. Once they respond like, yeah, sure, send it over. So that's kind of up to you. The more effort you put in, usually the best chances you have of actually converting a client, getting revenue for your business. So yeah, if you've just been using like longer form copies, definitely try testing out shorter ones as well. And oh, one more thing I kind of forgot to mention regarding this copy is that it's kind of vague purposefully. So it doesn't like tell you exactly what it's going to do to get you like results. And that can also act in your favor. People get like interested, they want to know more instead of like laying it all out in the first email. So that's one thing you can test out as well. All right, gonna take a look at one of the questions we have here. All right, so Robert is asking, I have 30 inboxes. So the Unibox is great, but what if the email goes to my spam? It does not come into the Unibox. Is there a way to fix this without logging into 38 accounts? So it should detect these as well if they land in spam, if they're like the campaign email response. If they didn't, I recommend you to contact our support and tell them like the exact email and the exact campaign that this came from, that this happened, so we can look into what happened there technically. So this should not happen. So yeah, so that's that. And yeah, if anyone joined along the way, if you have any kind of questions, any kind of topics you want me to talk about, please let me know in the Zoom chat. I think that's kind of where the biggest value lies in these webinars, if I can talk about stuff that matters the most to you guys. All right, so moving on with the presentation, we also have an official partner. So I just wanted to quickly cover this part as well. We have an official partner called LeadHype. You can go to leadhype.com/instantly. And what they do is they provide, first of all, just like technical account setup. So they'll get you how many domains you want, how many accounts you want, connect them to Instantly, so you don't have to worry about that, if that's something you want for yourself. And then second of all, they even do like a full done for you service. So they run the campaigns for you, get you those responses and stuff. So just wanted to throw that out there. If you don't want to do this stuff yourself, if you want to get outside help, then this official partner is the good choice for you. And then the last part of my presentation before I get to your questions is using the help of AI in copywriting. So ChatGPT keeps getting better, and it's still a super valuable tool to use, especially for like copywriting. So you can like ask it to make your copy shorter, change the tone of your copies, just come up with copies in general, so all that kind of stuff. So definitely use that. And also on our YouTube channel, you can find the other co-founder we have, Nils, created a video about it. like different prompts and stuff you can use in ChatGPT. So definitely check that one out as well. It's a great tool and it's a lot of help. All right, so yeah, so that's it from my side with the presentation. Now let's get to the questions people have been asking. Also, just for the recording's sake, I'll create a, I'll just put these questions somewhere. Let me throw them in here. All right, let me just delete this one as well. All right, so Nilansh is asking, I'm getting 65% open rate, but 0.3% reply rate. I'm sending from 100 emails. So I'm assuming these replies are mostly negative responses, and you're looking to get more positive responses. I'm assuming that's your question. So the good news is that 65% open rate is actually pretty good. So it can always be better, but I think that's pretty solid. So what it's showing is that you don't probably have deliverability issues. So that's a good part. Now, what I would recommend you to do is just keep testing more. So some things you can test, first of all, leads themselves. So you can test different kinds of targetings. Let's say if you've been only contacting CEOs, you can try targeting people who are like lower level managers or just like different kinds of titles in the company. Let me just quickly go to the lead finder as well. So if we're talking about job titles, a lot of people only target CEOs. So these are the people who receive the most emails, which means it's the hardest to get like attention from them. So first of all, I'd recommend testing different job titles. Then on top of that, you can test different locations, different industries, just trying to figure out what kind of niche works the best for you. So make sure you're always running like different kinds of tests. Also, employee sizes. You can try going for smaller companies, bigger companies, middle-sized companies. Just the point is, you would constantly keep testing different targeting. You just don't go with one, keep it that way. You want to target, just brainstorm ideas who you could target more. Then the second thing you should be testing is copies. So if you go to the Instant Accelerator, you go to copywriting, we have both videos and in written format, this copywriting masterclass. We talk about different things you can, strategies you can use during copies. So you want to test that out as well. Make sure you create like 10 to 15 different kinds of copies, some of them longer, some of them shorter, some of them straight to the point, some of them with strong call to actions like, can you come, like, would you come on a call? Softer call to actions like, are you interested in more info? Just like test a bunch of different things. And yeah, if you want to send the copy over, you can do that for sure. But yeah, the general idea is like, you probably won't land on a winning copy right away. You want to keep testing different things constantly until you do. And lastly, what you can also look at is your offer itself. So make sure your offer is as attractive as it can be, because yeah, it's super easy to get responses to a good offer, and it's super, super hard to get responses for an offer that's like generic, not really that attractive. So for that as well, we have a place in the Instant Accelerator. Again, we have written content, YouTube content about making sure that your offer is as good as it can be. All right, and we have a question from Doug. Just pasting it here so people watching the recording can see as well. What was the most you recommend sending per day per email address? So great question. And what we do recommend is 50 emails per day per email account. And this is split into 30 cold emails plus 20 warm-up emails. So the way you do this inside Instantly is, let's say you go to a email account here, go to settings. So what you can do is for the daily campaign limit, you set 30 here. And if you scroll down to the warm-up settings, you put 20 here. So this way, no matter where you put this account into, like a lot of campaigns, this will never send out more than 30 cold emails and 20 warm-up emails. So that's kind of, we see is the best kind of split. And if you want to send out more emails, just get more email accounts, more domains, and then scale that way. So, yeah. All right. So I believe Nilansh, that's your copy you sent here. So yeah, first of all, just like a quick glance looking at it is it's super long. So what I would definitely do is try making a shorter one. Try getting, so like the one I showed here, I think I just deleted it. Let me just get back to it. All right, so this one. I'll copy this into the Zoom chat as well. So kind of looking at that copy as well, try to create one that's shorter, asking for, has like a clearer call to action as well. And yeah, so that's what I would do. Is definitely don't try to hit them with all of this information at first. And yeah. And the other thing you can do is, again, if you go to Instantly Accelerator, go to copywriting, click on read the copywriting masterclass. For some reason, this is at the moment like a bit broken. We're going to fix it real soon. You'll see like a full screen of it. But basically what you'll find here is different strategies. You see strategy 1 all the way to 17 and 25 more strategies. So these are all like templates we've used successfully. And what I would recommend you to do is pick like, let's say 10 of these that you like and reformat them to fit your offer and keep them like kind of the same length. And then, yeah, just send out emails with each of these copies, see what performs the best, and then scale up the best performing one. So that's kind of what you want to do. And yeah. All right, so Ron is asking, let me again copy the question over so people on the recording can see. All right, so Ron is asking, you have ramp upon warm up, but not when you start a campaign. I'm ramping up manually in a campaign. Am I wasting my time doing this? So yeah, we do not have a ramp up in the campaigns at the moment. We usually tell people to like start slower, scale it up to like these 30 cold emails per day, 50 in total. So yeah, you're not wasting your time. Currently, there's no way to automatically ramp it up. We've thought about it, and that's something we potentially will add in the future. But yeah, right now it's kind of like a free setting. You can kind of ramp up in your own pace. How would you like? But yeah, just to quickly talk about it, you don't have to ramp up like too slowly. You can do like 5 emails per day per email account, and then every second day increase it by 5. So it takes like 2 weeks or something to get to the max volume. And yeah, and there's no like strict rules there either. Some people go straight to sending the max volume and they're like kind of fine. So yeah. Right, Nilansh is asking, he sent over the copy and he's asking, please help me with better copy. This is giving only 0.3% reply rate. So as I said, I would say your copy is way too long. It was like 3 paragraphs. So my tips again would be go to the Instant Accelerator, pick out 10 strategies from these. You see strategy 1 all the way to like 25 on top of 17. Pick out like 10 that you like the most and make those fit your offer. So edit them in a way that they fit your offer. Also, the one I copied into the Zoom chat, and then set up campaigns for all of these copies. And then based on real results that you're getting, make sure that you're using the best copy you can. So basically, it's just kind of like a testing matter. All right, so we have another question from Doug. Do you recommend purchasing warmed aged Gmail accounts? If so, from where? So no, I don't really recommend that. So I'm not a big fan of using like Gmail accounts in general, mostly because there's like less in trust when it goes to them. Because like when you're offering something business related and you don't have like a custom or like a business domain, some people find that shady. I know a lot of people are using Gmail accounts, so it definitely works. But again, I wouldn't recommend going after like warmed aged Gmail accounts in general. I know one strategy we also used in our agency back in the days, we created like personal Gmail. So let's say like reio@gmail.com. And then in the copy itself, we mentioned like him reaching out from like from my phone. So you kind of make it sound like you're just sending the email on your personal account, kind of tied into the copy. So that can work in your favor as well. But mainly about your question, I wouldn't really spend time on getting warmed aged Gmail accounts. Usually the people offering them, again, it's not like the most solid or like safest thing you can do. So I wouldn't do it. It's definitely not necessary. Right. But if you don't have any other questions, hopefully this was useful. Hopefully you learned something new today. And as I said, we do these every single week, actually 3 times as well. If you go to click on the strategy sessions, you'll be able to see Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. So the Tuesday ones are hosted by Raul, Wednesdays is me, and then Thursdays is by Nils. So us 3 co-founders all host these strategy sessions, and we don't have like a script for these. All of these are going to be different, so you're welcome to join all of these as you fit. So yeah. All right, last question from Doug is asking, can we input our own HTML for emails? Yes, you can. So if you go to campaigns, go to sequences, there's a separate tab here as well, code view, which shows like the HTML stuff. You can input it here. So yeah. And if you guys need any kind of help with anything, in the bottom right corner is the intercom button where you can click send us a message and talk to our support who can help you out and figure out anything going on with your account. So yeah, that is it from my side. Hopefully this was useful, and see you guys next time. Thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye.